Today we will listen to an easy, adapted version of the story of Mahatma Gandhi. We will learn about his life, his struggles, and his ideas that changed the world. Chapter 1. Early Life. His full name was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He came from a Hindu family. His father, Karamchand Gandhi, was an important government official. His mother, Putlibai, was very religious and kind. She taught young Gandhi to be honest, patient, and respectful to everyone. From a very early age, Gandhi learned important lessons from his parents. His mother often told him, "Truth is the most important thing. Always speak the truth." She also taught him about self-discipline and caring for others. Gandhi was a quiet and thoughtful boy. He liked reading stories and learning about heroes from history. He often thought about fairness and justice. At school, Gandhi was not the strongest student, but he was curious. He wanted to learn and understand everything. He loved books, history, and geography. He was interested in the world beyond his city. Sometimes he faced challenges because he was small and shy, but he never gave up. Gandhi also learned from his community. He saw people working hard in the markets, helping their neighbors, and practicing their religion. These everyday lessons helped him understand kindness, responsibility, and leadership. Even as a child, Gandhi wanted to do what was right. He wanted to help people and make a difference. By the time he was a teenager, Gandhi's character was already forming. He was honest, disciplined, and curious. These qualities would later help him become a great leader. From these early years, we can see the seeds of his future philosophy: truth, nonviolence, and helping others. Chapter 2. Studying in England. When Gandhi was 18 years old, he made a big decision. He moved to London, England to study law. This was far from his home in India. It was his first time living in a foreign country. The culture, the language, and the weather were very different. Gandhi had to adjust to many new things. At first, life in London was not easy. He missed his family and the familiar customs of India. The food was different, the people spoke quickly, and the streets were busy. Gandhi had to learn how to dress in Western style, behave in society, and understand English laws. These were small challenges, but they helped him grow as a person. Studying law was also difficult. He had to read many books, understand complicated rules, and write essays in English. Sometimes he felt tired and confused, but he did not give up. He worked hard every day. His dedication and discipline helped him succeed in his studies. During these years, Gandhi learned important lessons about justice, responsibility, and fairness. He read about the history of England and the ideas of freedom, rights, and democracy. He realized that laws should protect everyone equally, not just the rich or powerful. These ideas influenced his thinking and his future work. Gandhi also met people from different countries and religions. He learned to respect different cultures and beliefs. He saw that even in a developed country like England, inequality and unfair treatment existed. This opened his eyes and strengthened his desire to help people and fight injustice. By the time he finished his studies, Gandhi had grown into a more confident and independent young man. He had new knowledge, new experiences, and a new vision for life. England taught him that education, patience, and understanding were important tools for change. These lessons would later guide him as he began his journey as a leader and a fighter for justice. Chapter 3. South Africa, the beginning of activism. After completing his studies in England, Gandhi returned to India, but soon he accepted a job in South Africa as a lawyer. At first, he thought it would be a normal job. He would help people with legal problems and earn a living. But his experiences there changed his life completely. In South Africa, Gandhi faced racial discrimination for the first time in a serious way. People judged him not by his skills or knowledge, but by the color of his skin and the fact that he was Indian. He was sometimes not allowed to enter trains, hotels, or restaurants. One famous incident happened when Gandhi was thrown off a train because he refused to leave his first-class seat. He was tired, hurt, and angry. But instead of giving up, he decided to fight for justice. These experiences helped Gandhi develop his ideas about nonviolent protest. He realized that fighting with violence was not the answer. Instead, he believed that courage, patience, and truth could be stronger than weapons. He started to teach the Indian community in South Africa how to resist unfair treatment peacefully. Gandhi organized meetings, explained the law, and encouraged people to stand together. He asked them to follow a principle called satyagraha, which means truth and firmness. It was a way to protest unfair rules without hurting anyone. People began to listen. Slowly, small victories appeared. Gandhi helped Indians demand better treatment from the government and from companies that treated them unfairly. His work in South Africa lasted over 20 years. During this time, Gandhi learned many lessons about leadership, courage, and patience. He faced imprisonment, insults, and threats, but he never stopped. Every challenge made him stronger and more determined. By the time he left South Africa, Gandhi had become a well-known leader. He had tested his ideas of nonviolence and civil disobedience in real life. He saw that ordinary people, when united and committed to truth, could create powerful change. These experiences prepared him for his next big challenge, returning to India and helping his country fight for freedom from British rule. Chapter 4. Return to India. After spending more than 20 years in South Africa, Gandhi returned to India in 1915. He was now an experienced lawyer and a respected leader, but India was very different from South Africa. The country was under British rule, and many people lived in poverty. Gandhi saw suffering, injustice, and corruption everywhere. He realized that his work in India would be much bigger and more challenging than anything he had done before. Gandhi began to travel across India, meeting people from villages, towns, and cities. He listened to their problems and understood their needs. He saw that ordinary Indians were afraid to speak against the British because of harsh laws and punishments. He also noticed that some leaders focused only on politics and wealth, not on the needs of the people. Gandhi believed that change must come from the people themselves. Every Indian, he said, could play a role in achieving justice. Soon, Gandhi became involved in social issues, such as improving sanitation, education, and the rights of farmers and workers. He encouraged Indians to be self-reliant and to take small steps for improvement in their communities. He also began teaching the principles he had developed in South Africa, such as nonviolence and civil disobedience, as tools to fight injustice peacefully. His early campaigns were simple but powerful. For example, he organized protests against unfair taxes and laws. People from all over India began to follow him because they trusted his honesty, courage, and commitment. Gandhi became a symbol of hope for millions who felt powerless under British rule. His message was clear. Real change could happen without violence if people stood together, stayed disciplined, and believed in truth. By the end of this period, Gandhi was no longer just a lawyer. He had become a leader of a nation, ready to guide India toward freedom. His return to India marked the beginning of a new chapter, one that would inspire generations and eventually lead to the fight for Indian independence. Chapter 5: Nonviolent Resistance and Indian Independence Movement. After returning to India, Gandhi dedicated himself to the Indian independence movement. He believed that India could achieve freedom not through violence but through nonviolent resistance, a method he called satyagraha, which means truth and firmness. This was a revolutionary idea at the time. Most people thought that fighting the British required armies and weapons. Gandhi proved that peaceful protest, discipline, and courage could be equally powerful. One of his first major campaigns was the Champaran Satyagraha in 1917. Farmers in Bihar were forced to grow indigo and give most of it to British landlords. They suffered hunger and poverty, but no one dared to complain. Gandhi listened to their problems, organized peaceful protests, and negotiated with the authorities. Eventually, the farmers won better conditions, showing the effectiveness of nonviolent action. In 1930, Gandhi led the famous Salt March, walking 240 miles to the sea to make salt without paying British taxes. Thousands of Indians joined him. This simple act of civil disobedience became a symbol of freedom and courage. People all over India began boycotting British goods, refusing to pay unfair taxes, and demanding justice. Gandhi encouraged ordinary citizens to participate, proving that everyone could be part of the struggle for independence. The British government did not like Gandhi's growing influence. He was arrested many times, spending years in prison. Yet, each time he was released, more people joined the movement. Gandhi's philosophy was clear: never use violence, even when facing aggression. His calm and moral strength inspired millions of Indians, who began to see themselves not as powerless subjects, but as citizens capable of creating change. During this time, Gandhi's leadership extended beyond politics. He addressed social issues such as the treatment of untouchables, education, and rural development. He encouraged Indians to spin their own cloth to reduce dependence on British factories. Every act was part of a larger mission: to awaken self-respect, unity, and courage among the Indian people. By the 1940s, Gandhi had become the soul of the independence movement. Millions followed him, not just because he was a leader, but because he represented honesty, sacrifice, and moral power. The struggle was long and challenging. People faced arrests, violence, and hardship. But Gandhi's commitment to peaceful resistance never wavered. His vision was a free India built on truth, justice, and equality. Through his campaigns, Gandhi showed the world that ordinary people could change history. His work united India and inspired movements for freedom and human rights across the globe. The non-violent struggle for independence became a model for other nations, proving that courage, discipline, and moral conviction could overcome oppression without bloodshed. Chapter 6: Gandhi's Philosophy and Daily Life. Gandhi believed that real change starts inside a person. His philosophy was not only about politics, it was also about how to live a good and honest life. He believed in truth, self-discipline, and respect for all living beings. For Gandhi, actions were more important than words. Gandhi lived a very simple life. He wore plain white clothes made from hand-spun cotton. He lived in small rooms, slept on the floor, and owned very few things. He believed that leaders should live like ordinary people. This helped him understand the suffering of the poor and gain their trust. One important part of Gandhi's life was non-violence. He believed that violence creates more hatred, while peace creates understanding. Even when people insulted or attacked him, Gandhi stayed calm. He taught that self-control and patience are signs of true strength. Gandhi was also a vegetarian and believed in respecting animals. He often practiced fasting, not to punish himself, but to strengthen his mind and send a moral message. For him, fasting was a way to think deeply, stay focused, and encourage peace during times of conflict. Education was very important to Gandhi. He believed people should learn not only reading and writing, but also moral values, responsibility, and service to others. He encouraged people to work with their hands and help their communities. Gandhi's simple lifestyle inspired people all over the world. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Nelson Mandela admired his ideas. Gandhi showed that living with honesty, humility, and courage can change both society and the world. Chapter 7: Final Years and Legacy. In his final years, Gandhi faced one of the greatest challenges of his life: the partition of India. In 1947, India became independent from British rule, but the country was divided into two nations, India and Pakistan. This division caused fear, anger, and terrible violence between different religious communities. Millions of people lost their homes, and many lost their lives. Gandhi was deeply saddened by this violence. Independence was his dream, but he did not want it to come with blood and hatred. He traveled across the country, speaking to people and asking them to stop fighting. He believed that peace was more important than power. When violence continued, Gandhi used fasting as a way to protest and call for peace. His fasts were powerful and made many people stop and think. Even in his old age, Gandhi never stopped working for unity. He met with leaders, visited refugee camps, and comforted those who suffered. He believed that love and understanding could still heal the nation. On January 30th, 1948, Gandhi's life came to a tragic end. He was assassinated by a man who did not agree with his ideas of peace and tolerance. The world was shocked. Millions of people mourned his death, not only in India, but across the globe. Today, Gandhi is remembered as the father of the Indian nation. His ideas of nonviolence, truth, and justice continue to inspire people everywhere. Gandhi showed the world that one peaceful voice can change history and that courage does not need weapons to be strong. Thank you for listening to the story of Mahatma Gandhi. His life reminds us that true strength comes from kindness, courage, and honesty. Gandhi showed the world that peaceful actions can change history and that even one person can make a difference. I hope this story helped you practice your English and also gave you something to think about. Keep listening, keep learning, and never stop believing in yourself. See you in the next story.